Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If this is the very first time you found me, yay, you're finally here. I'm so glad. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much for coming back. My subscribers already know that my goal is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content so you can decide whether or not you want to watch a particular movie. So today, the particular movie I'm reviewing is called Goodrich. This dramatic film with heart and perspective is now available on Amazon Prime Video in select theaters, on Fandango at Home, and Apple TV. So lots of choices. The rating is R, and I'll give you some tips for parents here in just a minute. It's an hour and 50 minutes long, and my overall movie review grade is an A. I really enjoyed this. So first I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I really liked, things I didn't like. I'll offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about if you watch this with other people, funny lines, interesting lines, and we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also really like. Okay, so first, in a nutshell, the story is about Andy Goodrich, whose life is upended when his wife enters a rehab program without even telling him about it, leaving him on his own with their young kids. Goodrich leans on Grace, his older daughter from a first marriage, as he slowly evolves into the father she never had. Holly Meyers-Shyer both wrote and directed this touching film. She said she wrote the script 100% with Michael Keaton in mind, to the point where if he had said no, she said she would have buried it and herself in the backyard. Excellent choice. Not the burying part, but choosing Michael Keaton. He is phenomenal in this movie. Already, the film has won the Reframe Award for supporting diversity and LGBTQ plus communities. So, quick tips for parents. Young kids are definitely going to be bored. It's adults talking. Some older kids might be interested, but adults basically are the ones who are the target audience. There is some profanity and some F bombs, thus the rated R rating. A gay man kisses a straight man, a pregnant woman drinks alcohol, and we see a pregnant woman yell in pain during labor. Other than that, there's a lot of talking. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well are that family is the most important thing, perspective, rehab, drug addiction, priorities, being there for loved ones, fatherhood, new chapters of our life, and becoming better versions of ourselves. So here's the very long list of things I really enjoyed about this film. First of all, I've been a Michael Keaton fan since forever. He gives an absolutely stellar performance in this. Now, this is a very different character from his Beetlejuice character. And that movie just recently came out, reminding us all how talented and versatile Michael Keaton is. I love that Michael Keaton's work involves artwork in the movie, as we see that our lives are our most important creative work. We choose every day how we will design it, and the masterpiece really can't be fully appreciated until the very end, right? Mila Kunis is fantastic. The fact that she has two kids with actor Ashton Kutcher, I think, added great maturity and depth to her performance. She and Michael Keaton have really great chemistry together as father and daughter. Danny DeFerrari plays an incredible young father who gives the greatest speech to a woman in labor I think I've ever seen. It just got me all the feels, and I was all um, women will especially appreciate it. And men, pay attention to what he says. It's really wonderful. Other standout cast members are Andy McDowell. I always love seeing her. Kevin Pollak, young Vivian Lyra Blair, Andrew Leeds, Michael Urie, and Carmen Ejogo. The film's poster does a really great job illustrating how often we feel so overwhelmed that we think we're drowning in life, right? Most of the characters in this story feel that way, and it's interesting to see the different ways that they deal with that feeling of overwhelm, feeling like you're drowning. I love it when films talk about other films. So Michael Keaton's character watches the 1942 movie Casablanca with his kids while commenting how awesome it is, which of course it is. There are huge life lessons here in this movie. The message about prioritizing family came through loud and clear. It's true. It's actually really true. Work, money, awards, hobbies, nothing really matters more and will bring you more deep happiness and joy than family. Now, I recognize that they can also bring deep sorrow and pain, and we see that in this movie. But underneath all of that, the ups and downs of familial relationships is that underlining feeling that you belong to a person or a family, and that those people are, everything, and that blood runs thick. I really enjoyed every minute of this movie. Now, I only wrote one thing for on the list of things that I didn't like, and that is that it is a slow burn, but I think it's well worth the time, especially, some of these standout moments. And then the end will just underscore that reminder that family is what matters in this life. Now, some people may say, oh, it's really boring. Nothing really happens. They're just talking. Dig deeper because there's a lot more there. Now, whenever I watch movies, I write down funny lines and interesting lines that I hear just so that I can share them with you so you can get a taste for the script writing quality and dialogue. And you can see all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. But I'll share a couple of them with you right now. So there's this one little daughter, and she's played beautifully by Vivian Lyra Blair. And she's just this little precocious, smarty man's type of a kid. And so she's talking to her dad, who's Michael Keaton. Anyway, she starts saying something, and he was like, hey, and she's like, hey, if you don't want me to talk like I'm from LA, don't raise me in LA. And she's just all sassy. And then Grace, who's played by Mila Kunis, sees how Michael Keaton is as a father to her half siblings. And she says to him, I don't even remember what you look like in pajamas. That's how infrequently he was at home when she was growing up. And that is a really big stickler in the movie, that she sees all of the attention she's giving these kids, and she's jealous because she never had that herself. So then on to the really interesting lines. And a lot of these lines come from Michael Keaton as he's learning and growing and maturing. Even though he's the oldest one in the movie, he has a lot to learn. And so I really like this line. He says, the Buddhists say in the end, there are really only three things that matter: how much you're loved, how gently you've lived, and how gracefully you've let go of the things that really weren't ever meant for you. And I thought that was beautiful. I'd never heard that before. And all day long after I watched this movie, I'm like, am I living and loving gently? And am I letting go of those things that, I want in my life that just are not happening? And I thought it was a really good uh, way to reflect and to self-evaluate how you're doing in life. Anyway, I really like that quote. And then here's another really good one. He says, when you see something with your eyes, like, school children, let's say crossing the street, maybe a little bit of falling rain, or the way that morning sun, comes right through the window and hits a bowl of fruit on your kitchen counter, or even better, that smile on your daughter's face, you close your eyes and you think, I have to remember this, because in that moment, that's a piece of art. That's just art. And so he owns this art studio. And I love that he's seeing these beautiful artistic moments in his family, in his children specifically. So Mila Kunis and her father, they come together, and you're like, yay, and then something will pull them apart again. And then these old feelings emerge. And at one point, she says to Michael Keaton, her dad, she says, do you know how hard it is for me to watch you be father of the year all of a sudden? Do you know how painful it is for me that they get a version of you that I never had? And he is kind of unaware of that the whole time. And finally, he starts to see her pain. And I was just going to tell you another line. Oh, but it's going to get me all verklempt and start to cry. It's that beautiful. Okay, so obviously, I was definitely in the mood for this type of a movie when I watched it, because it hit me just right, gave me all the feels. I thought it was beautiful. Okay, so I seriously am getting all teary-eyed just thinking about it. Okay. So let me give you three recommendations to three other movies that brought me to tears that I just thought were beautiful. One is called The Pursuit of Happiness, starring Will Smith and his real life son. And it's based on a true story. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's inspirational and heartbreaking at the same time. And all of these movies have to do with life, happiness, love, relationships, parenting, and family, and all of that. Another one is just a great classic starring Hugh Grant called About a Boy. Now, Hugh Grant was just in the movie called Heretic, and he just stole the show. He was so great in that film. I did a very controversial movie review on that one, so definitely check that one out. And then the last movie I want to recommend is called Collateral Beauty. It's also so lovely. It really makes you stop and reflect on your life and your choices. All such good movies. And I did a review of all of them. Click on the link down below, or it's not a link, click in the description box below, and you'll see links to all of these. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for sticking around. Visit me on all the social media platforms. I'm everywhere. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.